You're listening to the Chapter Check-In podcast presented by Winmar of Lanark County. On today's episode, I have Shawna Gillen. She's our Toronto delegate, and I'm checking in with her on the new claims conference that's coming up, the 2020 claims conference that's coming up next Wednesday, January 22nd at the Metro Convention Center on the lower level. It's going to be a great show, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast. All right, it's Terry Doherty here with WP Radio. I've got Shawna Gillen. And Shawna, you're from the Toronto chapter of the OIAA?
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent. So, Shawna, I'm doing a chapter check-in right now, and I just wanted to kind of check in with you. And I know it's more of a check-in with what's going on with the claims conference. It's coming up next week, and I just wanted to give all the listeners a little bit of a teaser to see what's going on next week. So, do you want to fill me in here so we can fill in everybody else?
Sure. So the claims conference is taking place next Wednesday, which is January 22nd, and that's at the Metro Toronto Convention Center, Constitution Hall. The registration is open, so if anybody would like to attend, they can register on our website at www.oia.com. The cost is free to all insurance professionals, and if somebody's a non-insurance professional, then the cost is $250 plus HST. We're expecting at least 1,000 people to attend this, and it's a mixture of exhibitors and seminar presenters and adjusters, brokers, claims managers. The conference, we've got 9 seminars that are being held over 4 time slots, and there's a great variety of topics. We've got our usual kind of popular go-to topics of an AB update and a casualty update. There's also a property seminar, and then we've kind of got some other kind of hot topics in the industry, such as cybercrime, and there's also a roundtable discussion with insurance leaders that should be pretty interesting, and that one I would definitely recommend to people as well. Now,
do you have to sign up for those, Shawna?
Yeah, so we recommend that somebody pre-register those, just so we have obviously an idea of how many people will be attending. It is preferable that it's done in advance, again, through our website, but people can attend the conference and register at the registration booth. But as I said, it is better to register in advance, and that way, there's no delay in getting into the conference.
And guarantee yourself a seat in one of the seminars, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So you've got the seminars, you've got the presentation hall. What else do you have going on?
So in addition to that, we've got a exhibit floor, and that is there's 139 exhibitors, so that is sold out.
Wow, that's great.
Again, there's kind of a huge variety of different vendors that we use within the insurance industry. And in addition to that, there's a mix and mingle that goes from 2 to 4. And then, of course, Terry, we've got, you're broadcasting live WP Radio.
Yeah, we are.
During the day.
So that's going to be great.
That's going to be great. So I know that this is the 3rd year that you've been doing that, and it's definitely been something that people have talked about afterwards, and so I think people should definitely come by and kind of check that out as well.
Yeah, we got a great spot this year, so we're at the bottom of the escalator. So when you come down right at the bottom, we're going to be set up right there, so you won't miss us. There'll be seats. We'll have our people that we're speaking with and getting to know information from. And then on top of that, we'll even have a microphone out in the audience. So if people want to ask questions right then and there, they'll be able to do that this year.
Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a new addition.
Yeah, we got to keep getting bigger and better every year. So we got that. And you have the schools coming in too, don't you?
Yeah, so yeah, we've got I guess several college programs. We're busing in some students. I know from Mohawk and Seneca. To be honest, I'm not too sure where else. And for them, there's a talk and a job fair, and I believe that they'll be there all day. So they'll also kind of after the talk, they often will wander around the trade show floor. So I would definitely encourage, if you run into them, engage them, because there's some really smart students, and they're kind of our future. So I think this is definitely an important part of this conference.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some of them at the podcast, sitting down, listening,
Yeah.
asking some questions. So I never get to go around and see much because as soon as 11 o'clock rolls around, I'm doing my thing. But in the morning, I'm going to try and sneak out and get in to see as much as I can on the student side of things, because I hear it's always great, and I miss it every year. So until somebody else takes over for WP Radio, I'm kind of stuck with it. So, but that's fine. I don't mind.
I don't know who could replace you as host.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
don't.
Oh, I've
But
got a few names.
Yeah, but last year I did have an opportunity to actually go up to the job fair, and it was great. I'm trying to remember last year, but I believe there were 12 to 15 different employers that were present there, and it was definitely quite well attended. So I've unfortunately never heard the talk in the past, but I have talked to students, and they've really enjoyed it and definitely found it worthwhile.
This podcast is brought to you by Winmar of Lanark County. Winmar is a disaster restoration contractor specializing in repairing of damages from fire, smoke, and water in the insurance industry. Winmar covers from Lanark County, south of Perth to Portland, Renfrew, Leeds, and Grenville. For more information, please visit Winmar at winmar.com or call 1-613-253-0880. And we've got the luncheon again this year. Is there a luncheon?
Yeah, it's an informal light lunch. And that will be served at 12 p.m. and that is food stations.
And that's out on the exhibit hall floor again.
And that's on the exhibit floor hall. Yeah.
That's great.
And there's also two coffee break stations that come out at 10 a.m.
Is there any entertainment this year? Are they doing the music or any of that stuff this year? Or are we?
No, you know what? We decided to go against that. I think it's just sort of a distraction, and I do know that there are some exhibitors that have some interesting entertainment. I don't want to spoil it for them.
All right.
But yeah, there are some surprises on the trade show floor.
Excellent. Well, I like the mix and mingle part. I mean, I get to see the last 30 minutes of it, but I do like it, just before everybody starts tearing their stuff down. And I love actually going around the trade show floor. There's always somebody new that I've never thought or seen. I mean, last year was My Key. They were pretty cool. They had some pretty neat stuff. And then there was the guy that collects all the stuff and then sells the salvage. I forget his name. He had the hockey pucks at the golf tournament. But again, just some really interesting stuff that goes on at the trade show. And there's always somebody there cleaning your jewelry, or, if you got to talk to somebody about anything in the insurance industry, there's always somebody there.
Yeah, definitely there are some new vendors that have not been at the trade show before. So kind of a great opportunity to kind of, meet the vendors that you use every day or been working with over over years. And then there's also opportunity to kind of meet some new vendors. I think it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, I do love putting a face to the name as well. So there's people you work with, you don't always get to see them or meet them. You just use them because, they're on your list and you go to them and they're great. And you never really run into them, but then this is the one day you get the chance to walk around and meet them. So I spend the first 2 hours of the trade show floor just kind of whipping around, seeing the people making sure I say hi to them.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, no, it is a great way to kind of, you're right, kind of run into, colleagues that you've worked with over the years that, you haven't seen in, a decade or two. And just as much as a good opportunity to meet new, whether it be, other adjusters or claims managers or, as I said, just even vendors. So
yeah, it is
great. It's a great day.
Yeah, it's a little big industry, I guess.
Yes.
So we're in the Metro Convention Center. We're on the lower level again, you said, right? In that
lower level Constitution Hall. Yep.
The big one. And then all the rooms, again, are they for the different presentations and seminars? Are they all on the lower level? Are they upstairs? Are they spread out again?
Yeah, so they're all, around the trade show floor on that lower level. So, and you're right, yes, I guess there are some that are actually up on another floor, the second floor.
Yep.
Where kind of the, like, for example, the AV seminar and the casualty seminar, they're on that second floor. The room number's 201 CD. Casualty one is being done by Ian Gold. I think he's done that for the last number of years.
Do we know who's doing the other ones, or am I putting you to the test?
Yeah. So the property one is called Emerging Exposures and Property Claims, and that's being done by Lori, and hopefully I get this pronounced her last name right, Festerini, from Stantec Consulting.
I know Lori.
Yep. And then there's a one by Davis Martindale, Gary Phelps, called Economic Loss, Looking at Reality.
Okay. So from an accounting perspective, obviously, yeah, forensic accounting. Yeah.
And this one looks good because I just recently saw a bulletin or posting with regards to the new Simplified Rules. So there's a seminar that's being done by Talal Bond from Matthews. The roundtable discussion, so that one's called the Claims Transformation, a roundtable discussion with insurance leaders. And the panel, so the moderator is our president, Leanne Hardman. And let's see what else we got.
These are some great topics.
Yeah, and then so this one sounds pretty interesting as well. IBC government reforms, driver care update, cannabis legislation, edibles, extracts, and topical forms of cannabis, and that's being done by Todd Jerry, Mark, hopefully I get this right, Lefebvre, I guess I'm terrible at French names, and Mario Piarni, all from IBC.
Okay.
And let's see what else. And then our last one is called the Transformation of Client Experience, and that's being presented by Daryl De Silva, Jed Brady, and Greg Maddle. Oh, and Colin Young. Almost forgot something.
The problem is now choosing which one you got to go to or want to go to. That's the problem, because when you have two great seminars at the same time and you want to hear them both, you're like, if I could only get that on a podcast. So if you get a chance, anyone, and you're not doing anything and you're not walking around the floor, maybe you're having lunch and you want to sit down and you want to listen to some podcast, come and listen. Come join me on next Wednesday. I'll be in, like I said, on the main floor in the lobby between 11 and 3. We'll be meeting all the new sponsors for the 5 podcasts that we have coming out, as well as some special guests. And hopefully we'll get a chance to meet and talk to some of the speakers as well, if we can sneak them in as well in the time we have there. And hopefully you'll get to come and meet Shawna, and she put this whole thing on for us. It's amazing. She's spearheading the thing, and another great success for her. So thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Oh, Terry, one other thing. I'd like to kind of just give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, yeah. So I've got 2 coffee sponsors, and I just want to thank Davis Martindale and Moody Mare Walker.
Excellent.
I've got 4 seminar sponsors, and I'd like to thank Chameleon. Okay, now I can't say the name here. Camilino Galfieri.
Okay.
sorry, I probably massacred that name there. Lyric Investigations, Service Master Restore, Restore X, and then I had 7 lunch sponsors.
Wow.
And I'd like to thank, 7. And I'd like to thank Abrams Towing Group, Archon Forensic Engineers, Bell Temple, Insurance Bureau of Canada, IHG, MK Canada Inc., and Rimkus Consulting Group.
Thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
And I look forward to another great event with you next week. And thanks.
All right, not a problem. We'll look forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, all right. Good night. Thank you so much for listening to the Chapter Check-In podcast presented by Winmar of Lanark County. Thanks to our other partner sponsors such as Archon Forensic Engineers, Diane Russell LLP, Genesis Physiotherapy, Rehabilitation, and Sports Injury Clinic, Templeman LLP, and SEM Group of Companies. We can't thank you all enough. We'll be back next week with a new podcast for you, and don't forget to contact us for a chance to be featured on the OIAA Trivia Show presented by Archon Forensic Engineers. All you have to do is listen to the last month of podcasts, and you could possibly be called on air to answer a series of trivia questions, and if you answer enough correctly, you could win fantastic seats to come and watch your favorite events in Toronto. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.